Yeah, it's dark.
The moon landing happened, Jake.
Real dad shit, dog.
Don't fuck with me or I'ma fuck with you.
For all the emo sad girls, I want to touch bellies with this man. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Scene Labs, where we pull no punches. Unlike some people.
Did you actually watch the fight?
I watched the prelims and then I fell asleep.
So
Turns out I didn't miss much though.
We couldn't get it to work on our Netflix TV. TV.
It was garbage the whole time.
So what we did was it for some reason loaded on my sister's iPhone X from like 2018 or whenever that phone came out. So
it played on my TV, but like it just kept dropping out randomly and then coming back like 20 seconds later.
Yeah, and you could never like stay live. Like it always felt like it would randomly skip forward like, oh yeah, you've been behind for a while. Yeah. But I was like, we can't get it to load on the Roku Netflix, but it'll load on a fucking ancient iPhone. And we were all just like kind of huddled around the iPhone
trying to watch nothing.
And it was the most boring fight I've ever seen. And I haven't seen that many fights, but I know they're not usually that boring.
Yeah. It was a letdown for sure.
I think I saw...
It's just, you know...
I think I saw a meme one time of like the Teletubbies hugging a bunch of like people, and that was what the fight was.
I saw one that was... you ever seen the movie White Men Can't Jump?
No, but I've heard about it.
Well, it was the scene where they're running to the car with the money and jumping in the car and running away, and it says Netflix after... Or no, it was... All right, so it was Jake Paul and Mike Tyson out of swindling everybody out of millions of dollars.
I mean, they did.
Yes.
They got their bag for that fight.
Yeah.
Now, I believe for Jake Paul, it was all about money.
I think for both of them, it was all about
money.
But
I think it was more to Mike Tyson, though.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's running out of money is the problem.
Is that like a theory that he's actually broke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He wasn't very smart with money, and he really... Other than a few appearances and stuff, he hasn't really been doing much to make money either.
Interesting. Well, I know he posted something on social, or his team probably posted something on social media saying, even though I lost, I feel like I won because I'm a 60-year-old dude that got in the ring with a good fighter that's half my age, and I made it 8 rounds. But here's the thing. A lot of people were saying that there was a no knockout clause in the contract, so it would go the full 8 rounds. And like, I ain't never seen that many Jake Paul fights, but it looked like to me he was holding back. Yeah,
I saw a couple times just in like highlights that I was watching where Mike Tyson was holding back. Like there was a couple times, one in particular where he could have went for his signature uppercut and you could watch him like pull back and not do it.
Interesting.
And Jake Paul was very scared of that because he like cowered for a second because he saw it.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm glad they made a bunch of money, I guess. I'm glad that here's the thing. Who is the real loser here?
All of us.
No. It's Netflix. Because the amount of fucking memes and shitting on Netflix's servers and like...
I mean, it's not going to hurt them at all.
I don't know. Because Netflix is going downhill as it is.
True.
Like, when's the last time you heard about a big hit on Netflix that wasn't Squid Game or Stranger Things?
Yeah, you got a point.
Because, like, again, and when Squid Games and Stranger Things come back, huh?
I said we're Outer Banks.
Is Outer Banks that big? I have been hearing some stuff about it.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I like it? I heard someone died.
Yeah, someone did die.
We can't spoil it because I'm sure
one of the main characters died at the end of this season.
I just know that a lot of people were pissed, and then there was a bunch of white girls crying on TikTok.
I can see that.
Like, no, legitimately crying, not just bitching. They were tears.
Yeah, because he was kind of like the, I guess the underdog favorite or whatever, the bad boy.
Damn. Speaking of TV shows, have you watched The Penguin?
No.
It's really good.
Is it?
It's absolutely the best thing DC has put out since the Dark Knight movies.
I'll have to watch it. You haven't really paid attention to any new shows. I'm not really a big show person unless I can like binge it in a day. Something like that.
I mean, you could binge Penguin a day. It's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, probably.
8 hours. It just
next
glued.
weekend. This coming weekend. That's what I'm going to do.
You'll have to update me and let me know how it is.
Oh, you haven't seen it either?
No, like what you think of it.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't recommend it to you if I haven't seen it.
Oh, all right.
Jake,
Yes.
you're not supposed to respond to me like that. We don't have a whole lot of singles this week, but we do have a lot of music to talk about. So let's just dive into our one and only single. And just because it is, that I was going to make a joke, it didn't work.
You didn't even try. What do you mean?
Yeah. Let's dive into our only single. Jake, Spiritbox have released their new song entitled Perfect Soul.
So cover up the way. Her gift to someone is free. Imitation of the perfect soul. I shine a light into 1,000 eyes, all watching, waiting.
Jake, the two-time Grammy-nominated progressive heavy metal band Spiritbox is gearing up for its next chapter with the announcement of its sophomore album, Tsunami Sea, set for release on March 7th via Pale Chord in partnership with Arise Records. The album was produced by Dan Bronstein and Mike Stringer, mixed by Zach Cervini, who seems to be mixing literally every album we've talked about this year, and mastered by Ted Jensen. In tandem with the news, the band has dropped their latest single, Perfect Soul, alongside another one of their signature, visibly captivating music videos shot and directed by Dylan.
Go ahead. I'm pretty sure the H might be silent.
Okay, Ryak at Versa Films. Dylan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Okay, so Jake, last time we talked about Spiritbox, they were fresh off the release of Soft Spine. And we weren't that impressed with that song.
No, because we're not like super hardcore people.
But also, like, even for the heaviness that we like, we kind of made it sound like it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
It was a boring, heavy song.
Yeah, there was nothing extremely like stand out about it.
No, but we're apparently in the minority because a lot of people like that song. Schafspine. But I am happy to report that I am very happy with this new single. Perfect Soul is a completely different side of Spiritbox. It's a side that we have heard before and we have enjoyed. I'll speak for me. I have enjoyed. But before we get into the track, let's talk about the music video because I did think it was a very pretty music video.
It also looked like it had something to do with the tsunami. So it might be, it seems like part of the announcement of their album and everything.
Yeah, and it kind of checks out that the whole thing was in black and white, and I think the album cover is in black and white because I don't know if you remember, or for those that don't know, they went through and changed all of their album covers on streaming platforms black and white too, as kind of like a teaser, I guess, for this release.
I didn't notice that.
So, I mean, I thought that was a kind of a new, unique tease. Yeah, Holy Roller has a lot of plays now, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can you look at their monthly listeners for everyone real quick? What is Spiritbox sitting at right now?
2,800,000.
So we coming up against the wall of 3 million monthly listeners. That's pretty big for a metalcore band. All right. So the music video was very, very pretty. Courtney was beautiful as always.
Yep.
We had like a performance side of things, and then there was like this trippy transporter story going on where she would randomly, like, you'd see her face and then she'd end up in another part of this fucking like abandoned hospital. And then we had like a fucking The Last of Us zombies, or you said something about
it looked like from one of the crewmen on Davy Jones' ship from Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. Welcome to Davy Jones' ship.
Yes. And then, I don't know, I just really liked the music video. I thought the black and white was cool. I thought that the outfits were cool. I thought that
the outfits were cool.
Yeah. You can say Courtney's hot, Jake. That's
everybody knows.
Oh, okay.
She's just a little more revealing in that. Normally she's wearing like hoodies and shit.
For those who don't know, Courtney
and half of it, she is wearing a like sweater.
Yeah, that's true. She usually is wearing like a hoodie with a skirt, but like that's, I feel like that's usually her like stadium's outfit, like her
Yeah.
I feel like she always is wearing a sweatshirt though. Anyway, for those that don't know, Courtney Plant is drop dead gorgeous. And she sounded good on this song.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the track itself. There was not a single scream to be found. Do you think that's going to piss people off?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't, but...
What are their top 5 right now? I'm curious. Are they more metal or are they more singy? Okay, so Jaded is singy. Circle With Me is both.
Yeah.
The one with Megan Thee Stallion, I'm not going to count. And then The Void, which is both, and then Soft Spine, which is
fine.
So I think Spiritbox fans should know this is in their arsenal. Just a very beautiful, like cinematic, epic sounding rock song.
Yeah, it was very Circle With Me vibe.
Without the breakdown. Yeah. I mean, there was still like chugs in the background.
No screaming, no.
But there was a lot of also like, I want to say like ambient noise.
Yeah.
Like a ha.
Yeah.
I'm not mimicking what it sounded like at all. But yeah, it was very, very nice. I remember as soon as we got done listening to it, you're like, oh, how nice to hear something different that wasn't just being screamed at the whole time.
I like a good melodic, I don't know.
I think the instrumental was still metalcore. It's just a slower metalcore song, softer metalcore song.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm going to give Perfect Soul, I think I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and I am excited for this new album.
Good song. Good song. I think I'll also give it a 3.75.
3.75? Okay. Okay, well, that's all the singles. Y'all have a good one. No. Jake, Linkin Park have released their new album entitled From Zero.
The dark's too vivid, the light's not there. I start to pivot, but I can't bear to put it all behind. I run into it blind like two-faced, caught in the middle, caught in the middle. Too late, counting to zero, counting to zero. You should have recognized it's too late for choosing sides. Two-faced, caught in the middle, caught.
This is the first album since the tragic passing of Chester Bennington. It is the first album since 2017's One More Light, and it is the first album to feature new vocalist Emily Armstrong. All right. So, this has been probably the most talked about thing in the scene the last few months.
Yeah, I was going to say long awaited, but it really wasn't a long time.
They didn't make us wait that long.
No.
Unlike other... Okay, this isn't a story in the show. I'm just going to throw this in here. The album artwork for Memphis Mayfire's album leaked today on Twitter before they even announced it. And this could be a whole topic, okay? I'll wait till the actual album's out, but I will tell you this. If the leak is correct, it is 10 songs. There are 6 singles out by the time when the next single is supposed to come out next week. Including that song, there are 6 singles out. It is a 10-track album, and it's not coming out until March 28th.
You guys are going to have to wait for 4 songs.
I will hold my opinions for when the band actually releases something, and I have a press release to prove it. Yeah, no, so here's I'm going to get some good things out of the way first. Not because I have a lot of bad to say about it, just because I want to. They only gave us 4 singles, which is fucking wonderful, can I just say? Linkin Park said, we're not going to give you 5, 6 songs. We're not going to give you half the album before it comes out. In fact, the 4th single didn't come out until the day before the album came out, which I thought was cool. We got a little music video and another single like 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
If I was listening to the leak version, I could have had them at the same time. Yeah. And the other good thing I want to say about this album is they didn't make, like we said, they didn't make us wait for a long time, I don't feel like.
Yeah, they didn't announce a new vocalist, and it's like, all right, see you guys in 2 years when the album comes out.
Yep. Fuck you, Memphis Mayfire. Some standout tracks for me do include the singles. Now, if you remember last week, we talked about Make Them Suffer self-titled album. And the story behind that album for us and our listening experience was the band released the best songs as singles, so the delivery of the full record was underwhelming. I think that you could make a similar argument about this album, but not to that extent. I think there are still some bangers in this album. The Emptiness Machine as Linkin Park's comeback single, I think was a great choice. I think it allowed for them to not only release a new song, but to the way they wrapped it up, like they gift wrapped it for us live when they did that like live stream. Mike gets to do the entire first half of the song, and then you get this really smooth rollout entrance for Emily as the next singer. And I think that was the best song to release as their comeback single. It is not my favorite song on the album, but I think it was a great first single.
I do think it's a good song.
Huh?
And I do think it's a good song overall.
Yes.
But yes, it was very dramatic and in typical Linkin Park fashion. They're very dramatic with all of their releases.
That's why I got the Transformers soundtrack.
Yep.
The fucking shit that is all over TikTok right now. The next song I wanted to highlight is Heavy as the Crown. Heavy is the Crown. The next song I want to highlight is Heavy as the Crown. This was the song for the League of Legends show, game, movie, whatever the fuck. And this was the song where they're like, all right. The dramatics are over. Let's show you that we still got it. Because this was a Linkin Park song through and through. And this is, of course, the song where we got the, 15 or 16 second scream from Emily.
Yeah, that they made slightly shorter.
Slightly shorter than Chester, which I still back that decision.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, no one cares if you can do it. A lot of people on TikTok or YouTube can make a video of them doing a 16-second scream nowadays.
You shouldn't.
But you shouldn't, and they did the right thing. I remember when Heavy as the Crown came out, and I was like, okay, I'm excited now because this band is back. Then we shift over to the next single, which was Over Each Other. You and I weren't as warm on that one. And not because we thought it was bad. We just were like,
it sounded more like
it's music.
It sounded more like her song.
Yeah.
Than it did a Linkin Park song.
Yeah, you could have told us it was her other band song, and we would have been like, checks out.
Yeah.
There was no mic on vocals. The instrumentals weren't even that Linkin Park-esque. I felt like they were just more muffled backing track kind of thing with a guitar on the first layer kind of. Anyway, it didn't hurt my excitement for the album, but it was more of like okay, I'm not as big on this single as I was the last two. Press forward until today is Monday, so last Thursday, the day before From Zero came out, and we got the song Two-Faced. And that song was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely the most Linkin Park song on the album. And a lot of fans are trying to draw the conclusion that it was like a part 2 to a certain other Linkin Park song. And that song is One Step Closer.
Yes.
Now, I know for a fact that they did that on purpose? No. But it was kind of cool. And it sonically sounded like One Step Closer a little bit. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely old Linkin Park-esque. And I think, like you said, it is the closest sounding of the album to a Linkin Park song. With,
I would say, the Heavy as the Crown a close second, because that one was also very close.
Emptiness Machine too, though.
Emptiness Machine sounded more like...
That's not old Linkin Park. That's more...
almost Living Things era, maybe, or even One More Light.
Yeah. Let's see. Wow, this shit's look.
Yeah, you're losing frames by
I'm
the second there, bud.
Frames trying to.
It turns out if you try to go through and scroll through Linkin Park's whole discography on Spotify, your computer is working hard. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the Emptiness Machine is a lighter It is definitely still a rock song because the guitars in that song went fucking hard. But there was no screaming. There wasn't even really rapping, was there? I don't think Mike rapped. I think he sang.
No, he was singing, yeah.
So,
but Minutes to Midnight is what I would say it seems like it would be from, because that's also where you have
like Shadow of the Day.
What I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. So those are the singles. We feel pretty good about the singles. Just like we did last week. Minus the Over Each Other. And again, Over Each Other, not bad, just did not blow mind. All right. We could skip the From Zero intro, which is fine.
It's an intro.
I guess. I did highlight the track after the Emptiness Machine, Cut the Bridge, as a favorite of mine. I think that song also sounded very Linkin Park to me. Not to the extent of Two-Faced or Heavy as the Crown, but it was still up there. And I think that's kind of my personal takeaway from this album is the songs that sound like previous generations of Linkin Park don't sound forced. It sounds very natural. Except for the fact that they might have tweaked a couple things to make it fit Emily's voice better as opposed to Chester. And would two non-musician podcasters like us even be able to pick up on that? I don't know. Another song that I highlighted is a song called Good Things Go, which is the closer of the album. It's a softer one, but it was a really good soft Linkin Park song. And I expected it to be about Chester. But I think that when they made the decision, because they had to have made the decision to not write a song about Chester on this album.
Yeah.
I think that could come later. I also think that having a new singer who's fresh sing a song about their friend might have not been a good choice. And that's why Chester does not have a song to himself on here.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think they should have wrote a song about Chester and just had Mike sing the whole thing? Or do you think that could wait?
I don't know. I think that could wait as their like debut comeback album kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not throw that in there yet. Maybe have it as a single, something like that.
Yeah. Like a standalone thing.
Yeah, some kind of standalone thing.
Do you let Emily sing on it?
I don't know.
Because we know her voice sounds good with like the ballady tracks.
I almost wonder if you could just like piece together some things to make it like do different parts of his parts from different songs.
Even if they made it more of like an instrumental sound, like a music song, and not necessarily words, but like an ambient noise just of like a bunch of him, that could be cool.
Or I was thinking like you do some kind of like mix kind of thing where you figure out how you can make a song and still use lyrics from other songs. Like somewhere in the middle, like use his lyrics.
I know. It's called a Virginia just told me this word the other day. When Dayseeker does it sometimes, where they'll like take like little lines from other songs in previous albums or something, and they'll insert it into like the background of another song. Like, I can't remember what that word's called. Anyway, I'll put it up here in the post edit. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think that could be really cool. Mm-hmm. Like even if they had like a similar melody to like,
but people would hate it though.
I don't know.
People would still say that they're trying to make money off of.
People are going to say that regardless.
Yeah,
people are saying that right now.
That's true.
I mean, Chester's own son is accusing Linkin Park of that, but we're not going to get into the Linkin or Chester's son situation. It's just, I think it could be cool. I think it would be risky.
Yeah. I mean, what they're doing is already risky, but
like, okay, Juice WRLD. Songs by him are still coming out. You're telling me we can't have like 30 seconds of Chester's backlog and some fucking hard drive in the studio rise up and get into a new Linkin Park song? I don't know. I would do that. I'd get permission from his wife. I think that's respectful.
Yeah.
But his wife has always been in full support of the band, even on their like goodbye concert and stuff like that.
I feel like it could be something cool.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get into some negatives here. I'm gonna sound like I'm being mean here, Jake, but I'm being honest. Casualty is one of the worst Linkin Park songs that has ever come out.
That's a hard sell.
As in, you disagree with me?
Well, I'm just saying there's been some Linkin Park songs. There's been a whole album of that.
Yeah. And I think even the highest of Linkin Park fans will say Linkin Park has bad songs.
Yeah.
What do you think of that song? Because I've heard some people disagree with me, but I've heard some agree with me. I'm curious where you fall.
I don't know. I found it it lacking something.
Like
I'm not
singing?
a huge fan of her like talking, screaming either. I don't know. Like whatever she was doing in that, not a huge fan. I don't know.
I thought it didn't fit the album.
That's true. And I mean, I can't really say that I don't like that kind of screaming because that is what Chester did.
Yeah.
It was like the talking, screaming.
But Chester was
Good at it.
better at it. I don't know. I feel like even if Chester was on this song, though, and that's the thing, I feel like even if Chester screamed that song, I would not like it.
It was also very like repetitive. It lacked like depth.
Yep.
It was just dead.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole song for, what was that?
3 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes of.
And then we go into, from there, we go into Overflow and Two-Faced. I highlighted Two-Faced as a favorite of mine on this album.
Yeah.
So, I didn't really write down a bunch of press releases or facts or anything about this album because I genuinely just want to have a discussion with you about this album. Given the circumstances, are you mad at this album?
I'm not mad at it, no.
Can you look at it as a Linkin Park album?
I would look at it as the new Linkin Park. I don't put it in the same category as old Linkin Park.
So you could not put that in the same category as Meteora, Minutes to Midnight,
not at all.
Hybrid Theory.
No.
Okay. Would you say that Linkin Park fans, overall, I'm not talking about the fucking ones that are like, boo, girl, shit, rock. I'm talking about genuine Linkin Park fans. Do you think a lot of Linkin Park fans will find this album appealing to them after what everyone went through with the Chester passing?
I don't know. It depends.
And what do the streams look like so far, by the way? Are we up in like the 100 millions yet?
Yeah. Emptiness Machine had 271 million.
Fuck me.
Heaviest the Crown's 121 million. Everything else is
Two-Face has been out for 3 days. How many does that have?
11.6 million.
Shoot.
They carry the name. I mean, you carry the Linkin Park name, it's guaranteed listens.
So it is successful so far by the numbers. But by like the mind and the heart, I don't personally look at this album and think Payday. I don't look at this album and think trying to gain off of Chester's legacy. I genuinely heard this album and I'm like, it sounded like Mike and the boys got into a studio together and made music.
Yeah. I can tell you this. If I say, hey, whoever your assistant is on your phone, play Linkin Park, and this is what it plays, I'm skipping it. Because that's not what I want to hear when I go, hey, play Linkin Park.
Right. 9 times out of 10, you're looking for Minutes to Midnight, Meteora,
yes.
Hybrid Theory,
that's what
Living Things. But I think that I could find a spot for this album in my listening cycle.
I'm not saying that I won't listen to it. I don't like it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's not the Linkin Park that I go searching for when I want to listen to Linkin Park.
No.
This is a totally different band to me for some reason.
Even though sonically, a lot of the tracks are very similar.
Yeah.
But it's a mental thing. There's like a block there. And I get what you're saying because here's the thing. If I go, I feel like listening to Meteora right now. I don't want to listen to From Zero.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's kind of similar with other bands too. Like, for example, We Came as Romans.
Oh, I was going to say Breaking Benjamin.
Nah, because
that's all the same.
If you like one Breaking Benjamin album, you like all of them.
Yeah.
We Came as Romans. R.I.P. to their lead singer. But there's a different. I have to be in a different mood for one. What We Come as Romans versus the other. Post Kyle, pre Kyle. Well, post Kyle's death, pre Kyle's death.
Okay. So it'd be Kyle and post Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for cleaning that up for me. Or of Mice and Men. Fuck Austin Carlisle. He's a creepy motherfucker. But there's a different part of me that wants to listen to Austin Carlisle of Mice and Men than Aaron Pauley of Mice and Men.
Or listening to Slaves or Rain City Drive.
Yep. Very different. Very different. Especially, and they made it easy because they changed the name with the new singer. I was just listening to Slaves on the way back from the Baby Metal concert, actually. That old shit with Johnny Craig still fucks hard.
What is it? The stuff that was going around on TikTok is my favorite genre is bands that Johnny Craig used to be in.
Yeah. Or it's like if your favorite bands are used to be Johnny Craig fronted, you should get therapy. Make sure you're doing okay. Okay. So the success is there. The songs are good. The money is there. The promotion for this album has been insane. What do we think as a whole? And I'm not saying rating yet. I'm saying when this album comes up for you right now, is this a The Black by Eminence? Is this a Bill Murray? Is this a Bring Me the Horizon? Is this a what used to be Wage War? Or is it somewhere in between? Or is it in a category all by itself too?
I'd say I'd put it in a category by itself.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it as high as any of those other ones. I don't know. I would be more excited for probably most of any other bands you just named than I would for this. And I don't know if I haven't grown out of the Linkin Park shit. I still love Linkin Park. It's just not, like I said, not the same band for me.
I was going to say, do you think that the reason they're not up there with those other bands has more to do with the circumstances than it does the music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at too.
Because when like I said a minute ago, when I search for Linkin Park, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear Chester's voice and Mike's voice and old Linkin Park shit.
Yeah. It's hard to give like final thoughts because let's pretend none of this stuff happened with Chester. This is a new band. This is a side project, even not called Linkin Park. Would I say it's a good album? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great album.
If you're our age and you grew up with Linkin Park, there's another layer to all of this. And it could make your appreciation for this album less. Jake, what do you give from 0 out of 10? Just rate it for what it is. It's 10, 11 songs.
I think I'm going to give it probably a 6 or 7. Slightly higher than middle, but probably, 6.
I think I'm going to go 7.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a good album. I think that it's not a mid album. I don't think it's a slightly above mid album. I think it is a good album.
I feel like I was into Linkin Park more than you were.
I think you were too.
Because the age gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got also, I got into Linkin Park during the Minutes to Midnight era, which was like 2010.
I had Meteora on CD.
Yeah, so you had Hybrid Theory and Meteora. But I still got in while they were still peak music.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the time thing is the difference between us. You were probably like still a virgin when you when you first heard Linkin Park.
I was, let's see.
Actually, no, I was still a virgin when I
Minutes to Midnight. When did that come out? That
2009.
2009?
Yeah.
I was listening to it when it was on the radio. Like they were coming onto the radio because it was there. I think my little brother has it now. I have one of their original tour shirts. My brother has it now. That's just got like the LP on it.
Oh,
like
that's sick.
The old original LP.
That's cool.
I I got a lot of merch from my aunt when she was a radio DJ. Because she had a lot of like merch and unreleased shit and like promo shit.
I just
That's
have this.
pretty cool.
I just have this thought of like when I'm an old man or when I pass and someone's like going through my clothes to figure out what to do with them all, and they're gonna find all these fucking band shirts that have shrunk.
Might be worth some money.
They might.
They might.
I cleaned out my grandpappy's closet and found this shirt. What the hell is motion? Why is my kid gonna talk like that? I don't know.
Nobody's gonna have an accent by then, Aaron.
What the fuck is motionless and white? What the? Why is this? What's this clown shirt that says Ice 9 Kills? All right, so yeah, 7 for me, 6 for you. The final question is: do we recommend this album?
I recommend everybody should listen to it at least once.
Yeah, and maybe listen to it again if you decide to go see them live, like before you go see them.
How much do you think those tickets are gonna be?
Shit, they went on sale today. Oh my God, I was supposed to find out.
Hold on, we can find out live.
Pause. Actually, no. Fuck, no pause. Go to Ticketmaster.com and search Linkin Park right now. I fucking dropped the ball because Chad and I were going to try and get tickets depending on how crazy they were. We were going to get nosebleeds.
44 to 179 here.
That actually doesn't sound too bad if that's right.
2 tickets, $44 to 179. So I'm guessing that's the range. Even being nosebleeds might be $44. I mean, that'd be good. But special guests are pretty good.
Yes,
Who's going to be in Raleigh?
Our grandson. He's pretty cool.
Grandson.
Yeah.
So,
Emo rapper. Emo rapper, singer, guy. His music's pretty good.
Interesting.
Anyway, we will be looking for Linkin Park tickets tonight when Aaron gets home. Or even on the ride home.
That's a fucking arena. That's so many seats.
Going back to my original statement, maybe do you think that's a good time to listen to the album is like right before you go see them live? Or do you think at one time might be enough for some people?
I don't know. I mean, if you listen to it once and you like it, then that's good. If you listen to it once and you don't like it, I don't know.
And then for those that listen to it once and like it, but don't want to return to it a whole bunch, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our Linkin Park return era. I feel like this has been a very heavy conversation this year.
Yeah. Probably the heaviest release.
Definitely by the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, Linkin Park and Bring Me the Horizon released an album in the same year, and yet I still feel like this year is not as strong as next year is going to be with music. Jake, let's get into our next album discussion. Poppy? Jake Poppy has released their new album entitled Negative Spaces. Before we get into this, I want to just make something clear. I am not, anything I talk about this album, anything anyone talks about this album should be directed at both Poppy and Jordan Fish of Bring Me the Horizon, because X Bring Me the Horizon. Because Jordan co-wrote and composed this album. Does that surprise you after hearing this?
No.
Does this album surprise you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Because when I first told Jake we were reviewing Poppy, I think your exact response was, huh?
Okay.
And
I hadn't listened to it.
I'll be honest, before today, I was an avid... Okay, no.
You gonna call yourself a hater?
No, because I was... Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I was.
Poppy hater.
I did not like her music. And Jake, I fucking do now. This album was very, very good.
It was good.
Especially, and it had some highs to it too. I'm not just saying like overall it was a fucking incredible album, because it is. Some of these songs were way better than I even thought that she was capable of, in a way.
Just need a little help from the fish man.
The fish man himself.
Just need a little help from the fish man. If you
Is the fish baby the fish man's son
fish baby
from Starset?
Starset. Who made the Starset song?
We find out that like Ollie Sykes directed the music video or some shit. So Jordan Fish leaves Bring Me the Horizon, one of the biggest rock bands in the world right now. Not the biggest. That was the band we just got done talking about, but one of the biggest bands. And he has been cranking out banger after banger as a producer, as a composer, and as a co-writer. I don't know if you remember the pre-eras, like the earlier eras of Poppy, but it sounded nothing like this.
Yeah, it was nothing like this.
It was weird, just weird. It was a fucking weird music. And I'm not saying that's bad, because art is subjective.
Yeah.
But it was not for me.
Yeah, not for me either.
Half of this album was a fucking metalcore album. And we like metalcore.
Yes.
I want to talk about some standout tracks here. The Cost of Living.
It's pretty high right now.
Yes, it is, Jake. But The Cost of Living. Let's go over the singles first. The Cost of Living, They're All Around Us, Yesterday, which was an interlude, Crystallized, and No Way Out.
New Way Out.
New Way Out. Sorry, the printer's losing ink.
Yeah. I already can't read.
Now, what's interesting is, Jake, I remember you and I talking about at least a couple of these singles and being, at least on No Way Out, New Way Out, and Crystallize, which was the really light pop song.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not liking those very much. Or at least we're mid on them.
Yeah.
I think in context with the rest of the albums, these songs are better.
Yeah, they definitely fit.
And not every song sounds... And I would say no two songs on this album sound similar.
Well, I mean, they sound similar because it's on the album, but
I mean,
they don't sound like... They're not cookie cutter songs.
Okay, let's even take the two metalcore songs, the really heavy ones. Not the hardcore one, but the metalcore ones. The Cost of Living, and They're All Around Us, and Nothing. Nothing being my favorite song on the album. They're metalcore, yes, but they don't sound like the same song over and over again. And we all know, everyone that listens to this podcast knows I appreciate me some contrast. And that is what this album is. It is 15 songs of pure contrast.
It's contrast to all of the other work.
Yeah, for sure. Poppy could have just restarted her career with this album.
That's true.
And in a way, I think she kind of is. I think she's rebranding.
I think you're appealing to a bigger audience.
Yeah. Would you do me a favor and look up Poppy's monthly streams? Almost 3 million.
Yeah.
Same as Spiritbox. Now that's interesting. Now, to be fair, Poppy's also released some huge songs this year with Bad Omens and Knocked Loose. Those songs have done huge numbers, from my understanding. It's 14 for Van and 17 for Suffocate.
No, it's 34 for Van and 17 for Suffocate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are the top two on her top 5, even with the new album being out. I think that doing songs with Knocked Loose and Bad Omens was almost like a tease of what was to come with Poppy, because when I played you the song Vital, who did I say that song would be perfect for a feature from?
Bill Murray.
And then when I played you the song The Center's Falling Out, the really heavy hardcore song, who did I think that could be on that song?
Knocked Loose.
I think she takes influences on every single one of these songs.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. My favorite one, Bad Omens. You could make a case. Or any like popular metalcore band. They're All Around Us. I feel like it was very just new sounding. It was metalcore, but it sounded new. I think it's a good album. I personally think that it will end up in my top 20 albums of the year, but I'm not sure yet. And we're going to get into that. But overall, what was your thoughts on this album? And will you find yourself returning to any of these songs?
I think I'm definitely going to listen to the whole album again because I didn't have a whole lot of time with it. It's definitely changed my perspective on Poppy. As not really being a fan before, but I'm definitely going to listen to this. And some of them probably are going to go into like daily repeats and stuff like that because I'm a whore for listening to the same new music over and over again.
Yeah. And then how much of our props should be given to the Fishman versus Poppy in this scenario, you think? Because when an artist releases an album that sounds nothing like their other work, and you find out that someone from one of the most influential scene bands of all time worked on every single song, I feel like you gotta fucking wonder, right?
Yeah.
How much he had to do with this album. Because credits can only tell you so much. For all we know, he could have just added some fucking electronic parts because that was his thing with Bring Me. He brought the electronic elements to Bring Me the Horizon. So that's all he could have done. Or he wrote the riffs. He wrote the melodies. He had a hand in the lyrics. Like, we just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I would tend to give Jordan Fish a lot of props for this album because I have a feeling he worked on it more than, as a normal producer. And I say that because he's worked with other artists this year, like Architects, and you can tell when Jordan is on a song. It's the same thing with Cody from Wage War. You can fucking hear it. So I give Jordan a lot of props for this album too.
And I think you're right to do so because I definitely see it too. This is a very influenced album.
Yeah. Like it almost is like I could hear Ollie on some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear the fucking half scream sing that Ollie does. And you also wonder, are some of these ideas like scrapped Bring Me ideas?
It's very possible.
It could be.
Yeah.
A lot of people on Twitter are comparing Post-Human Next Gen and this album. There are some people that are using one to disrespect the other.
Oh.
Some people are like saying, Jordan Fish left Bring Me the Horizon and they fucking went downhill. They're not even relevant anymore. And Jordan went and did music with Poppy and she's way better than Bring Me the Horizon ever was. And Brain Dead takes similar to that. I got into a Twitter argument yesterday about this. And none of this is to negate how good Poppy is on this album. I'm not trying to take away from her. All I'm saying is this isn't a Jordan Fish versus Bring Me the Horizon. Jordan left Bring Me and is doing other things. Period. It's not a fuck you to Bring Me the Horizon. It's not a I'm going to make better music than you, Ollie. Like, that's not what's happening here. If Cody left Wage War today and went and made a bunch of banger metalcore country songs with people, good for him.
Yeah.
Jake, what do you give Negative Spaces by Poppy on a scale of 1 to 10?
I think as of right now, having only listened to it once, I'll probably give it probably a 7.
Okay. Is that higher than you were expecting to give a Poppy album?
Yes.
I think I'm going to give it it's not quite an 8. I'm going to give it a 7.75.
Okay.
I really like this album.
I just rated it higher than the Linkin Park album, and it hurts.
That's why I asked you before we talked which album you wanted to do first.
Yeah, it hurts.
I think there's a lot of elements there, though. I don't think you need to apologize for that. Also, great album. I recommend the Poppy album. It's fantastic. Go listen to it.
Yeah, if you're a hater, listen to it anyway.
Yeah, if you've hated Poppy up to this point, just trust us.
Yeah, because you probably, if you hated it before, you probably like the same music that we do, and now you'll like it.
Yep. Okay, moving on for a second. I do have one more thing to say about the Linkin Park thing, and you might hate me for this. I think that this album is better than some our OG Linkin Park albums.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a crazy take.
No, it's not a crazy take.
I think it's 10,000 Suns or 1,000.
Yeah, I'd say it's better than 10,000 Suns.
Yeah. And then I think it's better than One More Light.
Yeah.
I think One More Light had more highs than this album did, but overall, I think I enjoyed this more than One More Light.
It's not better than the first 3 albums.
Nope.
But
No,
it's,
well, there's no rock album that is better than the first 3 albums.
yeah.
I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, Jake, we have a few more minutes. Let's talk about some other shit. My Chemical Romance announced a tour, and tickets are $7,000. No, I'm not even kidding.
I don't doubt it.
It's not on the papers.
No, it's not.
Okay. I added this in last minute because I
I was just
remembered.
trying to get back to where we were going to be.
Yeah. You have a lot of papers this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're trying to get My Chemical Romance tickets, you better have some deep fucking pockets. It was such a big deal that Moist Critical did a whole fucking like 30-minute segment on his stream about My Chemical Romance tickets. Something I want to highlight here,
My
though.
Chemical Romance is selling tickets. It's my Moist Critical.
Oh
voice.
yeah, that's good. We should come up with an intro for Moist Critical intro. One thing I did learn from this though is apparently there's this new thing called, I think it's dynamic pricing for Ticketmaster, where they literally raise and lower the cost of the tickets overall based on demand, and the artist can choose whether or not that it's operated that way.
Oh.
My Chemical Romance
Sounds like a weird hustle to me.
or the record label have decided that if there's a lot of demand for their tickets,
The prices are going
the prices are going to keep going up.
Why can't you just be happy it's just sold out?
$75 to a bunch of emo kids in a fucking stadium? You don't think that's enough fucking money? I wouldn't say I love. I am a fan of My Chemical Romance, and that shit is fucked up. So apparently Ticketmaster, like everyone knows, Ticketmaster fucking sucks. But apparently Ticketmaster is not the only punching bag here, because if Warner Brothers, which is their record label, I'm pretty sure, decided to do that shit, fuck them.
I would not put it past them at all.
But yeah, when we looked at the tickets earlier, or when I looked at the tickets earlier, it was ranging anywhere from like 1,000 to 7,000, depending on the seats.
Well, I have a computer here, so...
Oh, hell yeah.
Look, Ticketmaster. Enter.
I think Critical was watching the one for Florida where he lives. Or was looking at one of the Florida dates. So what's the closest one to us?
Washington, California, Texas, New Jersey, Philadelphia.
Keep going.
Illinois.
Okay, so Tampa or Philadelphia or Massachusetts. Yeah, just do.
Let's just do the Philly one.
Accept your fate.
All right, let's pick a nosebleed here.
Oh my god. Go higher. Go to the highest nosebleed you can.
The highest nosebleed, way out. All right, what's the furthest seat from the stage?
I would probably say back there. Yeah.
Back here.
Yeah.
All right, the absolute furthest seat from the stage.
If you're trying to be as far away from My Chemical Romance but be in the same room with them, you are going to play
You are going to pay $409.
plus fees.
Plus fees. And that's Ticketmaster fees, so...
Probably another $70.
Yeah.
That is insane. Nosebleeds. All right, what's
that's
floor?
Nosebleeds.
Floor.
Right, hold on. Why is this shit so hard to navigate?
It's easier with a mouse.
Yeah.
Pit.
Pit? Yeah, what's a pit ticket cost?
Wait, what? Hold on. Actually, that's not as bad as I thought it would be.
It's resale.
Okay. All right, go do
Resale.
seats, front row.
$975.
$975. What's like a front row seat or
Front
close to
row.
it?
Here.
$700.
$700.
Ow. Fuck. I kicked my mic stand. It hit me in the lip. Insane. Oh, what are we looking at? Section EE, row 14, seats 11 and 12. How much are those tickets?
$1,250.
And now just know that there are other dates where they go into $2,000, $3,000, $7,000.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on the place too. So
I just want to know, since when is emo music this fucking profitable?
Tampa, baby. Pit in Tampa, 950. Section D here. So right behind the pit, $1,200.
Crazy.
$1,200. Further back, what was it $695? So is the pink like resale?
Yeah.
Okay, pink's resale.
And then blue is like, I guess what's left of MSRP.
Yeah, let's check a nosebleed for this one. Ah, stop it.
This is the Raymond James Stadium, so probably a sports ball team plays there.
$834.
Wait, why is the nosebleeds almost as much as the pit?
Oh wait, no, there's more. It goes further up. It goes further up.
Bro, how bad do people want to see My Chemical Romance?
Zoom. Enhance.
You enhanced the wrong thing.
I know. It zoomed the whole page. I didn't want to zoom the whole page. This thing's really hard to navigate without a mouse.
Yeah.
No. Stop. Let me click on the tiny little dot.
Oh, use the plus and minus to just zoom in on the... Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So how much are the farthest away nosebleeds for Tampa for My Chemical Romance, Jake?
Oh, I gotta zoom in more. This is a really big fucking... You can get a resale for $527.
At the one of the worst seats in the
One of
arena.
the worst seats. I don't even... You'd have to bring like one of the little like...
Binoculars
on a stick. Like you're watching an opera. The binoculars on a stick to watch this show. And you'll hear... I'm guessing just by like... As you're watching, you're probably going to hear it like a good half second after you see it. Just because of the way the sound's going to travel.
I mean,
and it's going to sound terrible up there.
I don't know about that. When I saw Paramore, we were in the nosebleeds for the Spectrum Center, which is where NBA teams play. The sound was great.
This is... What the fuck was that sound?
That was your lips.
That was weird.
So...
Raymond James Stadium.
Oh, that's a stadium, though, not an arena. Because arenas are known...
This is like...
It's like college football.
Raymond James... Hold on.
Excuse our little rabbit trail that we're going on.
Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, multi-purpose.
It's not home of the Bucks, right?
It is.
It's the Buccaneers Stadium?
Yeah. It's the Buccaneers Stadium. So you can be all the way at the top of the Buccaneers Stadium, about here.
Good God. And it's outside?
Yeah. And
so
it's
the sound's
outside,
not going to carry as well.
No dome, as far away as possible, barely hearing it, $600. And in this picture, it's during Monster Jam.
I forgot that stadiums were big enough to have monster trucks.
Monster trucks.
How much are you going to pay? Wait. How much are the prices for Monster Jam?
No, probably like $20. And you don't even have to sit that far. Look at all the people that are there. Everybody's just up in the front.
That's crazy. All right. So that's crazy. If you're trying to get My Chemical Romance tickets.
My ticket to romance.
Just give up.
Just give up.
It's not happening.
Unless you are a millionaire.
Yeah. You ever just had a spare $600 for the worst seats you could possibly get?
How many people do you think finance tickets?
With a firm? I have.
What? For all this? You're going to be paying?
I think you have. Well, if you're not rich, I think you have to.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, all right, buddy, we're going to go see our favorite band, but we're going to be in debt for the next year.
Yeah. That's a low.
And we're not buying beer. We're not buying snacks.
That's a low point, dog.
We're taking the hybrid. Like, all right, Jake. We have some big announcements for Scene Labs. We are hosting what is going to be called this year, and could possibly the name be changed next year if we find something cooler. Maybe. Jake has not come up with anything better yet, so this is what we're doing. This year, Scene Labs Podcast is excited to announce that we will be hosting the Screamies. Such a dumb name, but you know what?
Couldn't come up with anything else. All right.
Couldn't come up with anything else. ChatGPT said it was a good idea. We're a stupid podcast. Fuck it. That's what we're using.
Should I ask him?
No, he's not. No, don't even say his name. So let's go through some of the awards that we're going to be giving out. And I say awards very loosely because we actually can't afford to give anything to any of the bands. And I don't think any of the bands would care that we're giving them anything. What do you think?
No, nobody's going to give a shit.
Jake, can you read off the categories for this year's Screamies?
So we will have Artwork of the Year, 5 spots for that. Production of the Year, top 5. Call Out of the Year, top 5. Guitar Solo of the Year, top 5. Music Video of the Year,
Let me guess. Top 5?
top 5. Biggest Letdown,
That'll be a fun one.
top 5. Top 20 Songs of the Year, top 20 Albums of the Year. And then we are going to have your next favorite band, which is going to be, I would say sub 50,000
Yeah.
monthly listeners on Spotify, something
Bands
like that.
that could easily blow up at any time, but haven't quite made it there yet.
Yeah. And then we're going to do Artist of the Year and our personal top 10 albums and songs. So the rest of them are going to be a compilation of stuff that we have to agree on together.
We're going to argue.
Yes. And then we're going to have our own top 10s.
Yes.
songs.
Now, also, one thing I want to mention for the Scene Labs official lists of all these things, we are going to stick strictly to scene music. But for our personal top 10s and songs, I'm thinking we could branch out. So, like, if I wanted to throw a Post Malone song on there, or if I wanted to put a Halsey song on there that's not necessarily very scene, I think I can do that on my personal list. But for the Scene Labs official shit, only scene music. Rock, metalcore, not hardcore, emo.
I'm gonna have rap albums probably on my personal one
Hell yeah.
because Big X released a pretty good album this year.
Now, Jake, we're going to give our listeners one more thing. These are all of the albums that qualify to be on our albums of the year. Jake, why don't you start us off?
We are gonna have The Great Impersonator by Halsey,
Posthuman Next Gen by Bring Me the Horizon,
American Motherfucking Motorsports by Bill Murray himself,
Bill Motherfucking Murray, The Crucible of Life by the Home Team,
Was Here by Stand Atlantic,
Hope in Hell by Our Hollow Our Home,
Things Are Different Now by Rain City Drive,
Clancy by 21 Pilots,
From the New World by Alt,
People Watching by 156 Silence,
You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To by Knocked Loose,
Excessive Guilt by Motherfucking Throne.
Top Letdown. I mean,
Hey, it qualifies.
Stigma as from Wage War.
The Black by Eminence.
Eviscerate by Idala.
Maybe in Another Life by Bloom.
Death is More by Boundaries.
Death is Little More by Boundaries.
Death is little? Okay.
Half Living Things by Alpha Wolf.
Violent Delights by Galleons.
The Cycle of Trying to Cope by Like Moths to Flames.
Ssearching for Solace by The Ghost Inside.
Cure by Era.
Hyperviolence by Wind Waker. Damn it.
Yeah, there's so many
Yes,
wind and water. Neck Deep by Neck Deep.
Ah, yes. Yours Truly by Toxic.
Nope, Toxic by Yours Truly.
Toxic by Yours Truly. The Neck Deep thing.
Yeah, I mixed them up. I didn't keep them consistent. I Want to Disappear by The Story So Far.
From Zero by Linkin Park.
Through Storms Ahead by As I Lay Dying.
Negative Spaces by Poppy.
Abyss by AD Infinium.
State Champs by State Champs.
Blue Hour by Real Friends.
Heaven X Hell by Sum 41. Make Them Suffer by Make Them Suffer.
Analysis Paralysis. Analysis Paralysis by
Analysis
4 Years
Paralysis.
Strong.
Analysis Paralysis. Analysis Paralysis.
Analysis Paralysis by 4 Years Strong.
Feeling Not Found by Origami Angel.
Sundiver by Boston Manor.
Heaven Can Wait by Trash Boat.
Piece of Me I Never Let You Find by Cane Hill.
What I'll Leave Behind by Void of Vision.
Good Days, Bad Eyes by Saving Vice.
The Fear of God by Convictions.
Yes, sir. And those are all the albums that could be in contention for top 20. Now, obviously, not all of those albums are going to be in the top 20. And also, there's a very good chance I'm forgetting a few. So we might add a couple if I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about the XYZ album. If you're a fan of all these bands, you're bad news. Most of these will not make our top 20. But Jake and I will pick 20 bands, and then we will argue about the order of those 20 bands.
Should we do a separate episode of us arguing or no?
I think that could be like a bonus episode.
Okay.
Like when we reveal all this stuff can be one episode, but then we should film us arguing and like discussing it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do like a special for like a next year's Patreon or something. Or I'll just take the best parts of it and put it on TikTok. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right. So I don't have a date for this award show yet.
By the end of the year.
Or at the beginning of
Or
the year.
beginning of the year.
I would say at
Because
the very latest by the end of January.
Some stuff could still be like surprise released.
Yes.
So.
Like this Poppy album that I didn't know I was going to give a shit about. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. You pretty excited?
I'm excited.
Excited to argue?
My arguments are very strong with this subject.
I'm not going to use my knowledge against you.
Yes, the fuck you are.
Well, we will be back. I don't know if it'll be next week, but we'll see you again soon to basically decide who's important in the scene and who's trash. The power's in our hands. Sorry, Jake. I don't think Bill Murray's going to quite make it this year.
Nah, he will.
Shit, is that your letter of resignation? Anyway, give your little outro.
I'll give you the fucking shirt back again.
God damn it.
Bye-bye.